night shift, smell that fresh cut grass. I'm back in my helmet, cleats, and shoulder pads. Standing in the huddle, listening to the call. Fans going crazy for the boys of fall.
All right, let's do this. The boys of fall time in college football. It's back. It's conference time. Numero dos. Second week in the conference and national scams. Scamming in those games. For the Big 12 conference. What about the game of the week, as far as we're concerned in the Big 12 here? Going to be played at the neutral site, as always, the Cotton Bowl, where 15th ranked Texas is going to meet my 13th ranked Oklahoma Sooners. I think Oklahoma wins. I've been thoroughly impressed with what I saw. Not so much impressed from what I saw from Texas's DBs the last 2 weeks. Now, they've played two pretty impressive offenses in OSU, who they should have beaten, by the way, and West Virginia, who did beat them. Therefore, I like my chances in this. I hope I'm right. It's going to be on ABC National Television, 11 a.m., if you want to watch it. Also at 11 a.m. will be upset special alert here. 6th ranked Kansas State at Iowa State on the FX network. Let me tell you why I like Iowa State in this game. They had their chances against Texas Tech, but lost. But we're still in the game. The time before that we saw them at home, what happened? Anyone here remember? Oh yeah, ding, 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 ding. They beat Oklahoma State on national television. This is a team that can do it, and I think that they will do it. Paul Rhodes usually gets 1 or 2 of these games a year, so I think this might be it. I think that they're going to get 6th-ranked Kansas State in Ames. Good luck to Paul Rhodes on doing that. Oklahoma State at Kansas, 2:30 on Fox Sports Oklahoma. Or Fox Sports Net, I should say. I like Okie State. Oklahoma State is, you got your quarterback maybe not coming back, but I like what the backup does for Oklahoma State. They should have beaten Texas. That's all I'm going to say on that. They should have beaten Texas, but they didn't. This time it was the referees that blew the call. I think that they take some revenge and they knock some heads off in Lawrence. It's going to happen. Also at 2:30, right after we're done with OU Texas in the Cotton Bowl, there will be another game on ABC Net, regional coverage. Number 5, West Virginia at Texas Tech, 2:30 p.m. I like Texas Tech in this bowl game. Texas Tech wants to prove that they're better. And what better way to prove that you're better than playing a pretty good offense that completely stinks at defense? They're terrible. They got up 70 points, and then to Texas, they kept on leaving the receivers open. Texas Tech takes advantage of that every time. Seth Dahy and company win this game on ABC. Finally, on a Fox Sports Net regular 7 p.m. What a classic this was last year. TCU at Baylor. Everybody remembers that game, right? To start off last year. Well, they're doing it this year in conference. I like Baylor in this game since it's a home game. TCU's defense was lit up against Iowa State. Baylor's offense, much better than Iowa State. I like Baylor, specifically at home, in this matchup. That's it for the Big 12 broadcasts. Let's look at the national landscapes. The national broadcasts. You got Western Kentucky at Troy at 6:30 p.m. on Thursday on ESPNU. With the U, I like Troy. They got the receiver that was committed actually to Oklahoma, Joshua Jorbo. He would be a senior now, I believe, on this ball club. Obviously he's a Division I guy. If he decided that if he wanted to come to Oklahoma, obviously that didn't work out. I think that he's still a good player, and he's going to prove that to Western Kentucky. 7 p.m. A former OU opponent, University of Texas El Paso, will be in Oklahoma to face Tulsa on Fox Sports Net. I like Tulsa in this game. Tulsa just always seems to win a lot of their home games. I think that they're out for revenge after what happened against Houston last year. They want their division title just like Oklahoma wanted one last year. Oklahoma got knocked out of theirs last year. Tulsa got knocked out of theirs last year. Tulsa's in for blood, and they're going to knock off anybody that gets in their way to when they play Houston. Tulsa wins this game. And then on CBS Sports, Wayne State at Saginaw Valley State. I like Saginaw Valley State this being a home game. Everything that I've seen on Wayne State is pretty good. But in a home game, Saginaw State usually they've got a 1,000-yard passer and a 500-yard rusher. It's about 1,500 yards of offense. And, oh, yeah, they have a pretty good defense also. So there you go with that. Skip to 8 o'clock on Thursday. The final game on Thursday will be on the ESPN family of networks on regular ESPN, where Arizona State will be at Colorado on ESPN. I like Arizona State in this ball game. I'm just not been impressed with Colorado at all in the Pac-12 last year or this year. They left the Big 12 so that they could get better, so that they could get closer to their region. Well, now they are closer to their region, and they're getting the doors blown off week after week after week, and that doesn't change against Arizona State. Friday, there's just one game on the ESPN, and it will be on the ESPN set of regular ESPN, where the Naval Academy, big, huge win for them, at Central Michigan on ESPN. Navy came up with a huge win yesterday over their opponent, the Air Force Academy. I think that they take that and they build off of it. Central Michigan, pretty good team, but the option is so hard to prepare for, and right now Navy's running that so well. I like Navy in this matchup. Boom. Here we go. So, there you go. Saturday at 10 o'clock. Saturdays, football Saturday, big time Saturday, right? It's Saturday football time at 11 o'clock on ESPNU. So our good old buddy from OU, Dari Noka, will not be on ESPNU for college football whip around because they will go ahead and start their games earlier than normal at 10 a.m. when 8th-ranked Louisville will face Pittsburgh on ESPNU for a Big East game. I like Louisville. Louisville is a team that a lot of people have picked to win the Big East. I'm not going to argue with that. They're a good team now that they're probably one of the topper teams now that West Virginia's gone. Therefore, Louisville has got to win at Pitt, and I think they will. They're a good team, and they'll be ready for whatever they have sending their way. 11 a.m., the normal time for college footballs to start off. They got a chunk load of ball games, as you may or may not know, all the time. And it starts on the big ESPN when the University of Iowa will be at Michigan State on ESPN. I like Michigan State in this bowl game. Iowa has just had way too many injuries at running back and way too many injuries. And I just like Michigan State in this ball game. That's why, hate me if you want, give me Michigan State. On the Deuce, ESPN2, one channel up, at least here in Oklahoma City, you'll have Northwestern at Minnesota on ESPN2. I like Northwestern. Northwestern is heartbroken. And I mean heartbroken. After losing to the Penn State Nittany Lions, where they knitted them a new one in Happy Valley. Northwestern didn't leave very happy. I think that Minnesota, though, this is just what they need. A team like Northwestern, a team that Northwestern needs, I should say. A team like Minnesota that could be good, but is on the bubble right now. Northwestern gets it done on ESPN2. On the NBC Sports package, NBC Sports Network, you'll have Brown at Princeton on NBC. I like Princeton being at home. Battle of the smart people, I guess. So I like Princeton. That's all I got to say on that. Fox Sports Net. The 11 a.m. game will be the University of Alabama, Birmingham, UAB at Houston on Fox Sports Net. I like Houston. This is a team that when they lost earlier in the season to Division I newbie Texas State, they swore they wouldn't lose again, and they haven't. And I've been thoroughly impressed with what they've done. Therefore, give me Houston in the game. Big East, ESPN3.com will have Syracuse at 20th ranked Rutgers. I like Rutgers. Syracuse doesn't really impress me that much. Rutgers is in the top 25. Rutgers should get it done, and I think they will. Kent State at Army on CBS Sports. I got to give it up to Army. They gave Boston College a bowl game. Gave them a bowl game. Won the bowl game. I think that they take that momentum and they use it to their advantage. They're going to beat Kent State at Army in New York. Also on ESPN3.com, and you can see it right here locally on KSBI. They'll have Auburn at Ole Miss. I like Auburn. I think that they're mad about the way that they played against Arkansas, and this is a team in Ole Miss that they can beat. Not that they will, but they can beat them. But it'll be difficult. It'll be difficult to hold back Auburn with as much offensive talent as they have. So I'll take Auburn. You can also have ESPN3.com. This should be a good one if you go to ESPN3.com. This should be a super good one for the ACC at least. Duke at Virginia Tech. I like Virginia Tech. They might not be playing that great right now, but it's at home, a home game against the ACC opponent. Duke has to show me something before I say that they're technically back on track. They have to beat a Virginia Tech. They have to beat a Florida State. This is their chance. I don't think they get it done, though. Finally, on ESPN3.com for the early games, they have Temple at the University of Connecticut Huskies on ESPN3.com. UConn still has one of the better defenses in the Big East. They're mad about the way that they played They're mad about the way that they played last week. They wanted that win, and they couldn't get it against Rutgers. They get it this time at home at the University of Connecticut. They're going to get this one. I just have a feeling. 1:30 p.m. You'll have North Carolina at Miami on the ESPNU. I like Miami. They are basically the Michigan of the ACC. They lose their non-conference games. Of course, the two of them being Notre Dame and Michigan. Kansas State. I'm sorry, Notre Dame and Kansas State. But every other game that they've played, they've won. I find it very hard to go against them at home. Therefore, give me the U on the U. The battle for Ohio, Akron at the University of Ohio on ESPN3.com. You know, I like Tettleton. I like those guys. Give me Ohio. I like this offense. Frank Solich. I like the way that they play their ball game, and they will get this thing figured out too. It won't be easy, but they'll find a way to get it done. And then on Fox National at 2 o'clock, you'll see Utah at UCLA. I like UCLA in this matchup. They are another team not happy about the way that things went. But they can beat good teams because they beat Nebraska. Therefore, I think that they're going to beat Utah also in a home game. So there is that game. Only those two games are at the 2 o'clock slot. 2:30 slot, there's a chunk load of games. Like where game day is going to be. ESPN College Game Day. Chris Fowler, Lee Corso, Kirk Street, those gentlemen will be at 17th ranked Stanford at 7th ranked Notre Dame on NBC. I like Notre Dame. I've liked Notre Dame since the start of this season. I thought that when they played us, they might both be undefeated, and everybody called me crazy. You call me crazy now? They are the team that's undefeated. Not even Oklahoma's undefeated, but Notre Dame is on NBC. They will get this done. Come on, Notre Dame. You got to be undefeated by the time you come to Norman. They're going to be undefeated this time. They're going to find a way to hold back Stanford. Number 1, Alabama will be at Missouri on CBS National. I like Alabama in this ball game. I'm thoroughly not impressed with the Missouri defense. I haven't been since we were ranked number 1. We took our Crimson team winning there, ranked number 1, and you got to give them credit. They got to Landry Jones and company that night, but even that night, I wasn't thoroughly all-dropping impressed with their defense, and I think it's only gotten worse now. Give me Alabama. Fresno State will be at the Blue Turf at Boise State on NBC Sports Network. These guys never lose on the Blue Turf, do they? The Fresno State's not going to win on the Blue Turf. Not going to happen. Don't even have to get into it. 24th ranked Boise State wins the matchup. On regular CBS, on CBS Sports Network, you'll have Bucknell and Harvard. Another one of those Ivy League. Who's the heavier Ivy? I like Harvard as the bigger Ivy in this. It's a home game for them. I think that they get this done over Bucknell. And then on the ESPN2, Illinois at, still my favorite to win the Big Ten. By the way, they're undefeated at least in Big Ten play, unless last time I checked. 25th ranked Michigan and Denard Robinson. Their D-Rob, they might not know how to beat up on Alabama, but who does? They're undefeated. They might not know how to beat Notre Dame, but I'll ask again, who does? They're undefeated. Other than those two games, he's had a pretty good year. I think he does it again. 2:30 ESPN2. Jump 30 minutes ahead. Utah State at San Jose State on ESPN3.com. I like Utah State. Utah State, they beat Utah earlier. They played us hard a couple years ago. You know that they can play defense when they play hard against Oklahoma, and they beat Utah. So you know that they can. I think that they rally the troops here. They'll beat San Jose State. At 4:30, you'll be able to see Boston College at Florida State on ESPN2. Florida State is mad, angry, and ready to hit some helmets after the way that North Carolina State game went. And they will at home. Florida State wins the ball game on ESPN2. 30 minutes after that, on the U, another team from Florida, the 4th-ranked Florida Gators. Still undefeated, baby. I called it last week that LSU would be Gator bait, and they were. Florida gets it done again. They don't have to work as hard against Vanderbilt. I have Vandy winning this ball game. At the 6 p.m., top of the hour, USC at Washington on ESPN. Washington's done it. They've pulled some major upsets. Crazy things happen in that stadium. Washington already did it once against Stanford. Here's a secret. They're going to do it again. And USC will be out of Pac-12 championship capability. Mark it. USC falls to unranked Washington. Steve Sarkisian has done that. Kentucky at Arkansas, ESPN3.com. Arkansas is still a pretty decent team. They showed me a lot coming back last week at Auburn on the road. Now they're home. They're in their confines. They'll find some way to get this done. Finally, for the 6 o'clock docket, you have Fordham at Cincinnati on ESPN3.com. You serious? Are you serious? Cincinnati could have this thing at halftime. Give me Cincinnati. Are you stinking kidding me? At 7 p.m., third-ranked South Carolina. Steve Spurrier at LSU and that hack of Les Miles. Give me Spurrier. LSU at a contingency. I just don't see South Carolina. I don't see them losing. I think you saw LSU, what happens when they go up against a pretty good defense in Florida. By the way, LSU has a couple of injured linebackers in this game. Let's go Spurrier. Knock them out of contingency right here and at their own stadium, and you can laugh at them as they're leaving the stadium. Southern Miss at Central Florida on CBS Sports Network at 7 o'clock. Give me Central Florida. I've been impressed with them. You guys know that I have always been impressed with them. They made the defense that I really don't like, again, Missouri. But they played that SEC team, and they played them hard. Central Florida could have had 2 or 3 chances in that game. I think they get it done. Okay, now finally, at the 7 o'clock docket, we have Florida Atlantic at Louisiana Monroe, ESPN3.com. Give me Monroe. They've had a great preseason. They had a couple of wins. They had a win. They had a chance at Auburn. They had a chance at Baylor. Now they're in their own conference league. Give me Louisiana Monroe until they show me some other reason not to. Texas A&M at 23rd-ish ranked Louisiana Tech, ESPNU. Give me the Fighting Aggies. Their offense is pretty good. Their defense is SEC-esque. They've proven it to me. They will go in to Louisiana Tech and upset them at El Tech. I wouldn't have said that the first couple of weeks, and I probably had Louisiana Tech the first week. But this quarterback has shown me something. This team has shown me something going head-to-head against Florida and the teams they've played. Give me the Aggies. Finally, Tennessee at Mississippi State on ESPN2 at 8 o'clock. I like Tennessee. I don't know why. I just have a feeling that they are going to get better and better and better with time. And Mississippi State's just not getting any better. So therefore, I'll take Tennessee. That's my picks. Mark them if you want. Don't if you don't want to. Do whatever you want to with them. That's how I feel. See you guys next week. Next week, it'll be a little bit later than this. because next week is finally when those BCS standings come out. So I won't be using the AP standings anymore. I'll be using the official BCS standings. Looking forward to that one. I'll be looking forward for you too. Look for me at Boomer Sooner 1982. This has been fun. The College Football Pickle.
They didn't let just anybody in that club. Took every ounce of heart and sweat and blood. Get to wear those game day jerseys down the hall. Kings of the school, man, where the boys are fall.